listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans, so belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
Bit of a break here. We'll get back in there because Dave has to have a pee. He just informed me via text message. I know he didn't want me to say that on the air, but that's kind of the way those things go. We'll take a quick break. This segment of this entire show has been brought to you by SeatGeek and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today. 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talk and a whole lot more. Joined today by a fan of the show, friend of our show, Jim Plotner, the fan of the event. Jim, this has been a blast. Thanks so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
On this Sunday, man. We got to do this maybe once a month and give the people what they want. This has been long clamored about. We've been talking about it for a long time, yep. Jim. Thank you very much for coming on our show. It's greatly appreciated. Let's get some cheap shots for both of you. Ready to go?
Yeah, but I do want to say this. Next time we gotta work on not Sunday mornings because we're the 4 beer podcast, and I can't fucking shit can 4 beers at 10 o'clock in the morning. I do have some kind of standard.
Well, I can because I can work in a nap and get these 4 beers off of me, right? I can have a little nap this afternoon before the wife gets home, right? They're on right now. They're playing right now.
Okay.
I got it on down here. I got the Marlins, Mets, Yankees, Giants, and then whoever the Washington Capitals are playing in front of me here. So I got 3 games going on. Let's get in some cheap shots here. Some questions for both of you. I got 5 of them. Jim, start with you and I want you both to answer. LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan.
I'm the same way. Jordan was.
I don't think it's close.
I think LeBron. I get it. How there's a lot of Braun fans, but a lot of those fans had never seen Jordan play. The ultimate competitor, the ultimate alpha. One thing that comes to mind when that dream team in Barcelona, the first time the NBAers were allowed to play Olympic basketball, and I believe it was Ahmad Rashad said to Jordan, he was interviewing him like in a bar or whatever like that. So you got this team all together, down by 1. Who takes the last shot? And then Jordan, without batting an eye, me. And he's on a team with Magic and Bird and Malone and like obviously all
on and on and on it went with those guys, right?
And he was like, fuck me. And so that's the alpha Jordan was.
The thing about Jordan, there's stories about him before a playoff game playing 36 holes of golf and crushing 12 beers like while he's playing golf and going out and scoring 40. Right, because he was just a competitor. Like Jim. Like you said, you were a Bulls guy growing up. Like what?
Yep.
Yeah, he was unbelievable how good he was. Will to win.
And not only that. I mean, everybody always has a debate with Jordan and LeBron, and the issue is they played in 2 different eras. Obviously, Jordan played in a much tougher era. LeBron plays in this soft era. I mean, is LeBron talented? Absolutely. To do what he's done and still play at the level he's playing at is amazing, and we can't take that away from LeBron. But when you look at character as far as on the court, not off the court, because LeBron's done great things off the court, obviously. When you look at on the court, everybody flocked to Jordan. LeBron had to hitch his wagon like Durant does and Kyrie's trying to do. LeBron had to hitch his wagon to Dwayne Wade to win a championship because he couldn't get it done in Cleveland. The only way he got it done in Cleveland was coming back and hitching it to Kyrie. Jordan never had to do that. Everybody flocked to Chicago because they all wanted to play with Jordan. Dennis Rodman and, Ron Harper. And Jordan didn't win championships with other Hall of Fame guys around him. He was the Hall of Famer. He was playing with pretty much a cast of
that's a very good point.
Supporting actors. And LeBron had to be the supporting actor to Dwayne Wade. And even in Los Angeles now, he had to team up with Anthony Davis and this whole, the Showtime Lakers. They were back for 1 year, and that was playing in the fucking bubble.
Those bubbles, like in baseball as well. And Dave, you and I talk about a lot, like the Dodgers and Tampa Bay Lightning. It's a half a championship.
Well, and I think the Lakers is even.
I mean, it's
less,
shitty, but it's a half a championship.
because with the Lakers, you didn't have load management in the bubble. These fuckers were they had 2 months off, and then okay, let's do this, and so now they have a
Playing in a gym on front with green screens and just
and all this load management and shit, like the things that today's basketball player needs, they didn't have to worry about because they had 2 months off to get healthy before they actually did the championship tournament.
Yeah. Next one up. Bigger nozzle, Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers?
Oh God.
I was always a Brett Favre hater, so I'm gonna say Brett Favre. I think Brett Favre, his good old boy shtick, just sling it out there and yucking it up as a good old Southern boy. And
What's unfortunate about Brett Favre is that I know who Jen Sturger is and I know her name. Otherwise, I would never know who Jen Sturger is. Right.
Well, why would you? Right.
Yeah, it's too bad that we know of that because of that. Like, Jim, who do you got?
This is a tough one because they're both nozzles in their own right, but right now I think Rodgers is taking the cake.
Oh, he looks so bad right now.
Because the fucking horrendous haircuts he's got. That's one. but two, the fact that he really thinks in this situation he holds all the cards. And like you guys said on an episode a few weeks ago, they can in essence just say, fuck it, we're not trading you. We've already paid you millions upon millions to lose. So you could just sit the pine pony and watch Jordan Love play, and we'll win or lose with or without you. And you could just sit out the whole year. We'll pay you, but just go sit over there somewhere with the training staff and go rub some hamstrings or something like that. So to me, Rodgers right now is the bigger nozzle. I mean, Brett Favre has obviously the off the field issues with the whole welfare shit and.
Oh, that's a bad look right now, hey? Oh,
taking money for speeches he didn't commit to and all that. But when you're talking about present, it's Rodgers.
That's a bad, Favre has such a bad look right now, like just the whole thing. But the Rodgers thing, I wonder how that's going to play out. It's and the longer it goes with nothing happening before the draft and the closer you get, you wonder what's going on. Like it was reported by Trey Wingo, I think, was out of New York originally on ESPN Radio, and it hasn't happened. So Wingo kind of has a little bit of jism on his face right now because it hasn't happened. Yeah. You just wonder, like, okay, what's going on here? At the end of the day, the Packers hold the cards. The owners hold the cards, right? It's I own you. Yes, I pay you. And I will decide where you're playing, not you. Like it's
see, Rodgers thinks that he's got all this power because he comes out, I'm the greatest Packer ever. Oh yeah, okay, you're on the list, but that doesn't mean you coming out saying that and then saying I want to play for the Jets, and then you give the Jets this in essence demand list. Now the Jets, if they don't land Rodgers, they got jizz on their face too because you went and signed Alan Lazard. Let's say they bring in Mercedes Lewis, who's past his prime, and Randall Cobb, and then you bring in, let's say, Odell Beckham. Now you don't get Rodgers. You mean to tell me the guy who bangs his mom's friends is going to be the guy that's going to be, the quarterback to these friggin' weapons?
The other guys only came to play for the one guy. Now they're playing for this other kid. Oh, it's a fucking mess.
2 points.
And Zach Wilson, he's another nozzle.
That that's what Favre did. That's why Favre ended up with the Jets. He wanted to go to the Vikings, and the Packers say, "Fuck you, we're not treating you in division. If you don't want to be here anymore, you go play for the Jets 1 year, then you become a free agent." And that's why he came to the Vikings later.
It's an absolute disaster.
So there's that, and then also maybe that's why he hasn't been traded yet, because the Jets are saying, like, look, man, we just did all this stuff for you. This was your wish list. We need to restructure now so we can pay for all these toys that you want to play with. So, and maybe Rodgers is the one. Like, I don't know shit, but maybe that is.
I 100% think he stands on the sidelines holding a clipboard for the Packers next year. I actually, and that's a Brent original. I didn't hear that from anybody. That's what I think is going to happen, because they're like, you know what? Fuck you. We paid you $700 million over your 20-year career and got one Super Bowl, fuck you. That's what I think is going to happen.
Sit there with your MVP trophies and,
right
and
on,
just,
man.
maybe they can keep you warm because, you know, you don't show up, you don't get paid either.
Yeah, go into your darkness tunnel or whatever it is over there because you ain't playing. Watch this, asshole. That's my. Anyways,
that'd be funny if he did his shrooms before a game because he's not.
Whatever it's called.
Then he has to go back
in or whatever. Couple more, Jim. If you catch a ball, a home run ball or a foul ball at Yankee Stadium, do you keep it or do you give it to a kid?
I give it to a kid. I mean, I've seen these videos where these guys grab it and then like you're laughing in the kid's face. You are the biggest fucking prick for that. I don't need to go home with a foul ball or a home run ball unless, of course, it's a record-breaking home run. Then, I'm keeping it because I'm going to get the most I'm going to get the most.
And I'm selling it. Yeah. Dave,
I completely agree. Like, you get a ball, you hand it to a kid. Unless there's no kids there. Like,
I'm not looking for a kid. If a kid comes and asks for it, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, if I reached over a kid and like saw, it's like, shit. Sorry.
No, I would probably just hear whatever.
But
I wouldn't go find one, but I'd be like, okay, if there's one that's. But if he's running from 30 rows away, I'm not giving it to him.
And it would be situational dependent, and you know, a foul ball is a lot different than a home run ball.
Yeah,
that's true too. Like dependent on situation, but as a general rule, the kid gets it, and the kid's my kid too. So,
well, if your kid's there, I expect you to give it to your own son. Like, no, you're not going to put it on your fucking mantle. Your wife wouldn't let you.
Well, it'll be somewhere. At least I'll keep it in the family.
It'd be downstairs where you're sitting right now, where Kaylee doesn't come down there and pinch her in. Like Deanne never comes down to the tavern down here. Two more, Jim. Worst fans: Red Sox fans or Patriots fans?
I gotta say Red Sox.
They're awful.
I gotta say Red Sox fans. They are some of the worst.
They're aggressive.
Fucking worst. And I've been to Fenway many years ago, and we actually went. I think it was in 2000 or 2001 for Yankees Red Sox, and we wanted the Yankees win. We go to this bar down the block, and I got my Yankee jersey on. Walk in, guy's like, "What are you drinking?" I'm like, "I'll give me a Sam Adams." All right, take the jersey off, and I'll sell it to you. So in natural Jim fashion, I'm like, listen, fuckstick. Money's money. I don't understand it. I don't play for the Yankees, so don't take it out on me that the Red Sox fucking blew that game. And then the bar down the block from them, yeah, sure, whatever you want. Whatever. That's just how Boston is.
Boston's different.
How they are.
Yeah, fuck me. I was there a couple years back with my sister, and we were getting some beers. The same kind of things. We were standing in line, and these two girls just butted in front of us, and turned around and they weren't. I just had a Yankee hat on. They're playing the Blue Jays, and this girl, she turned around, looked at me, and she goes, "Fuck you," and I went, "Pardon? Fuck you." I was like, "Oh, that's nice." I said, "Geez, what's the problem here?" And we started talking. She goes, "Yeah, I apologize." She goes, "How long you guys been together?" With my sister, I said, "I don't know, 43 years or so, I guess." She goes, "What?" I said, "It's my sister, fuckhead." So we had a laugh about it. Like fuck me. It's just crazy. Dave, who do you think would be a worse fan? The Patriots fan base or Red Sox fan base?
The Patriots are a little bit bad because they had so much success and they were so lucky. Well,
Boston as a city had so much success.
Yeah, the last 20 years they have no comparable to how well they've done over all four franchises, right? But Red Sox fan is a little bit more annoying because they have an inferiority complex against the Yankees. Like, you guys think you're so good, but we're good because we've won more since blah blah. And they're they're always comparing themselves to the Yankees.
Quit comparing to the Yankees then. If you're this great, don't compare. Yeah,
exactly. When you're coming into an argument with an inferiority complex, and you've already lost. And I find that's what Red Sox fan is. So I'm gonna agree and say the Red Sox.
Last one, then we'll get everybody out of here. Jim, we'll start with you. Should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Because you know what Major League Baseball is going to do, and this is the fuckery of it when it comes to them. Pete Rose, I understand sports betting is, especially at that time, was frowned upon, especially when you're coaching a team, right? But it's been how many years since? I mean, they finally let him show up to a Major League Baseball game. He was banned from going to any game as it is. And let's be honest, Pete Rose really ain't living that much longer.
No.
All right, I give it maybe another.
He looks
4
looks
years,
rough in his appearances and stuff. A friend of mine, he saw him in Vegas a few weeks back. Yeah. I was like,
so if Major League Baseball wants to save face a bit, put him in when he's alive and let him enjoy it. Because you're gonna put him in when he's dead anyway. So you might as well just say, you know what? We're gonna bend here a little bit. Let's put the fucking guy in. I mean, the guy has the most career hits all time. You can't punish him for when he was a player. So put him in based on that. Who cares about when he was betting that the Reds were going to lose when he managed the team? Who gives a shit? I mean, that was how many years ago? And that's something that, you can't hold that grudge anymore against the guy. You really can't. Just fucking put him in. It's almost the same thing with the steroid guys. You can put him in, just put an asterisk next to it. Or put him in pre-steroids, like Clemens and Bonds and even A-Rod. You can put them in the Hall of Fame before, take their before stats, look at those and realize these guys were Hall of Fame players. Just put them the fuck in. Just be done with it, because it's going to happen. Somebody's going to vote them in.
Yeah, I think you put all those guys in. Dave?
I think you could make a better argument for the steroid guys as opposed to Pete Rose. I don't think Pete Rose should be in because that's the one thing that baseball had precedence on with the Black Sox scandal back in the day. Maybe you should put Shoeless Joe Jackson in before you put in Pete Rose because, Pete Rose, I don't think a guy just starts gambling at the age of 45 when he retired. I don't know this, but I'm guessing Pete Rose had some action that he didn't get caught with when he was a player, because you don't just start gambling when now you have a direct control over who may or may not win a game. And then when everybody says, well, he never bet on Cincinnati to lose, but did he bet him to win 162 games? I don't think so. Because in his bookie, when Pete's not gambling, then now his lines changes a little bit for everybody else because Pete doesn't have action on this game. I think that's the most disrespect you can show the sport that made you great, and then to lie about it forever, and then to come clean and think you're gonna come clean and think that you're all going to be forgiven because after 15 years of denial, now you see you're not getting in. And then you're starting to kiss a little bit of ass and tell people what they think they want to hear, but then make your living in Vegas at sports books, right? That's kind of thumbing your nose.
Well, he hasn't done himself any favors over the years. There's no getting around that. Like he kind of, and then saying, would he do it? Like, I still bet, or just say I don't bet anymore. I found the error of my ways, whatever. Should he be in the Hall of Fame as a player? 100%. As a manager, obviously he signed that deal for a reason with Giamatti, who died 5 months after that, back in '89, I think it was. And it's just, I put him in. Like it's like, and like you said, Jim, they're going to put him in anyways. Like eventually, it's going to happen no matter what. He will find a way in. I mean, he was allowed into baseball, so they're loosening things. And now with how baseball is so intertwined with sports books right in buildings now,
yeah.
It's pretty hypocritical now for them to say that guy bet on a game. And the betting in sports, it's like who's that guy who got spent from the NFL last year?
Ridley.
Yeah, fuck whatever, man. Like who cares? Like just who cares? It's I don't know. I let him bet. As long as you're not betting on your own game or whatever it might be, and you're not the outcome of there's something that you can affect if you bet on your team to win, bet on it. Fuck it. Go nuts. You're not going to try. I don't think you're going to try any harder if you have a fucking 4-game parlay and your team's included.
Yeah, I don't think I disagree on that. I don't think you should be able to gamble on the professional sport you play, because that's how you get into a little bit of trouble. You lose a couple, and then now all of a sudden you're into the bookie for $1.5 million, and then like, okay, let's get.
But if you're playing on fucking Bet US or fucking whatever the fuck,
it all starts.
Who cares? You're not paying a bookie. You're paying a fucking. You actually have funds in your account before you can make the bet, so you're not going to get in trouble with anybody. And if you're betting on your team to win, you're not going to, like I said, you're not going to try harder to win. Like when you talk about point shaving that happened in college basketball back in the 80s, that's not an easy thing to do because they eventually got caught. But if you're betting on your team to win, who gives a fuck? Wouldn't you rather that?
Well, because if you keep losing, now there's going to be a chance like, fuck, I got to stop this skid. And all of a sudden now you're betting on your team to lose. Right. And don't say
but that's on anything. Like that's.
But so like, let's stop it before it starts is what I'm saying.
So get your wife to make the for us to be that
gamble.
For us to be that insane, saying that athletes aren't gambling somehow on a team, that's fucking insane, Jim. Like that's insane to think that, like, with everything, because everywhere you watch on TV, it's bet, like no matter what.
Every other commercial is, FanDuel's got this special right now. Hurry up and sign up. DraftKings has got this. Hurry up and sign up. And
Bet MGM, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Sports betting has had a positive effect as far as the states that have legalized it, because they get so much in fucking revenue as it is from it.
Yeah.
Because whatever percentage of the bet, obviously, FanDuel's getting, BetMGM, Caesar Sportsbook, whatever it is, they're getting a percentage. Like when New Jersey legalized it before New York ever did it, in 1 year, New Jersey made close to $1 billion off of it, which is good because it goes back into the state of New Jersey. Obviously, New York is going to fucking surpass that because everybody in New York's friggin' doing it. And the negative impact of it is, to me, it has affected the games because you feel in a way that, and especially in the NFL, there's 2 minutes left and you haven't called a pass interference call all day. And then all of a sudden, the same one you've seen for 3.5 quarters, now all of a sudden is getting called. And people made that an issue with the Super Bowl with Bradbury and Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay? And Bradbury came out in the end and he said, yeah, I held them. And it was the right call. And people are bitching, well, Philly would have won if they didn't call it. They didn't call it for all this time, and now they're calling it. Well, this is the other issue that the NFL has. And Major League Baseball, NBA. The NHL, I don't think so much has an issue with it because it's a hard enough sport as it is. I mean, you mean to tell me that a guy like Connor McDavid's going to score 7 goals in a game? It's not going to happen.
No.
But sports betting, I mean, as far as the athletes being allowed to do it, I think they should be allowed, just not in the sport that they play. Like if Calvin Ridley wants to bet the friggin' Braves versus, let's say,
the Marlins on a fucking Tuesday, who cares?
Then why not? I mean, NFL coaches are allowed to do it. But I think they're not allowed to do it within the NFL. Like Miles Austin, the wide receiver coach for the Jets, got suspended a year because he bet an NFL game. And he got the same suspension Calvin Ridley got. And Calvin Ridley's suspension was a fucking joke. It's not like he went out there and did like I hate to say, like Henry Ruggs. He didn't go out and kill anybody. Or other guys like Kareem Hunt friggin' crane kicking some woman in an elevator. But to give him a 1-year suspension for betting a game, even though he knows he's wrong for doing it, I mean, at least an 8-game suspension would have been suffice. I mean, you look at Watson. Watson, friggin' all the allegations are 26 to 30 women, 13-game suspension. And a slap on the wrist,
so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Like, who was the guy who beat up his wife? He played for the Ravens.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
And he got blackballed from the NFL because.
But he was only going to be 4 games at one point.
It was only going to be 2.
2, sorry, 2.
When the video came out, it became 4.
But make $100 bet in a 4-game parlay. You're out for the fucking year. Yeah, it's sucked. It's insane. Jim, it's been a blast having you on. Like I said, it's been 16 months in making it's been a lot of fun having you on. We've been bullshitting about sports like 4 old guys or 3 old guys do, having a BS, not analyzing the game so much. And that's kind of like what we try to do here at the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. Yeah. How is your cigar? Like, how's it still going? Like, how much is still left of that thing? Is that a 2-dayer?
Half of it left.
There you go.
This will be done today.
There you go.
This will be done today.
There you go. Jim, tell our listeners who haven't listened, I'm sure they have, but let's hear about your show and where they can find you. You just listened to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with the sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Let's get into it.